four-man mosh pit followed by Entomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead.
G'day and welcome to another Nexus Gaming Series cast. This time we have lowered expectations facing off against assisted Newb management. I'm going to say that I'm ready as well. As we do have yeah, it should be a good D-West game. I forgot to change that. Both these teams are pretty close from what I recall. They are both relatively good. This is the second D-West series I'm casting this week, and actually is just straight up the only other Division D-West game that's happening this week, so I managed to somehow pick up both. But we do have assistant Newb manager who did lose the coin toss. They actually chose map pick, which I can mark off. They banned out Battlefield Eternity Dragon Char, or lowered expectations, won the coin toss, chose hero pick. It went Towers of Doom and Garantira. As you can hear, we're at Infernal Shrine, so let me change it on over to the ban view screen, and we'll get this underway. Right, I don't actually know what we're going to get banned out, is the thing. I have not looked as closely as I probably should have, because, well, I did just kind of decide to do this quite last minute is the thing. So I'm going to see if I can pull up some details while we're waiting here and see what happens. And we see a Blaze banned out first, which, yeah, Blaze, relatively safe ban. More or less, you're going to get a... That is mainly... Okay, how do I phrase this? That's kind of you're both banning out a tank and an offlane in the same boat, just because they're so good at both. Right, next ban, what are we going to see? Vala, again, pretty good all-round damage, so may as well get rid of it while we're here. Let's have a look. I can't see that. Oh, no, yep, I can see a decent amount of Blaze picks on the side of it, on the side of assistant Newb manager, so that makes sense. And we see Joanna banned out next, just good all-round tank, may as well ban it out. Lowered expectations, what are we going to have banned against them? We have already seen the Vala. We're an Infernal Shrine, so I wouldn't say Rexar. I know they're a bit disappointed with Dragon Char being banned out, so imagine Rexar is not going to be picked here just because it's not as great for them. Maybe the Haka ban, maybe a Asmodan ban, Hogger. Any of those three all pretty good. We actually see an Alarak ban. I mean, right on. If you don't want to play into him, you don't want to play into him. He's an annoying one, to say the least. But we see Stukov is picked up first. One of the better maps for Stukov, as well, I should say that, but a lot of maps are just good in general for Stukov. Just because Silence can control such a large area that you may as well cover it, so to speak. So first two, 1 and 2 for the side of assistant Newb manager. Diablo? Oh, Garrosh. Chromie? There's Chromie. I do remember Ice Queen's Chromie, and I remember it's actually very good, to say the least. In fact, I'm surprised that wasn't one of the heroes banned. Just because I wouldn't want to deal with Ice Queen's Chromie either. I would hopefully try and steal it personally, but I also play Chromie, so that's neither here nor there. We do see Zul'jin picked up by Warwolf and May picked up by Dingo. Okay. Garrosh will suffer with that. Garrosh does not do well into May. Those constant slows really hinder Garrosh. Garrosh needs to get on top of people to throw them and stun them with that combo, but I guess they can QE instead, though it's not quite as effective as blowing someone up just by throwing someone into the middle of your team and then stunning them. But third ban for the side of, well, I've ticked the wrong box. I've just realized I've given the map to assistant Newb manager. They have not won yet. They just picked the map. Well, that's what I get for not reading properly. Well done, me. Right. Next ban for lowered expectations. Final ban of the game, even. Sonya. Yeah, that's a good one of this objective. May as well get rid of it. It looks like they've played it a little bit more, so may as well But then again, we could see something such as Leoric come out. I don't think... Leoric maybe Dahaka. Zul even, if you're going to get a little bit off track. Deathwing would be fun. Nope, Dahaka. Yeah, good pick. Good all-round safe pick. Lowered expectations. What are your last two heroes going to be? We see an Orphea, or as one of my friends say, Orphea, because apparently he loves his Orphea. And we have... Oh, we still have Rexar to round it out, actually. That is a bit of a surprise to me. Like, I do know Rexar is good. I imagine we're going to see the Misha auto attacks, minions, monsters, etc. for more at level 1. Just because Q build may not be as effective on the objective. And I'm wondering... This may feel like objectives in favor of assistant new managers so far. Depends what his last pick is. Anduin. Yeah. Just be... and saying that Stukov does balance out pretty well. Same as Orphea. I don't know. The thing to remember here is Garrosh doesn't actually throw the Shrine minions. That's something that a lot of people forget. Those Shrine minions aren't targetable by Garrosh's throw, so he could just very much walk up to someone's like, I'm standing near X amount of minions, I'm fine, and then end up in between a rock and a Tychus minigun. But that is that draft. I'm going to swap it on over into the game, and I'll see you all in just a few moments.
Oh, a swap. Oh no, but a swap followed by a light bomb.
Here. 4-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, here's light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead.
Right, if anyone heard me swearing during that, that's just because I had to take my jersey off, and it hurts my shoulder when I do that still, because, well, my shoulder's not in the greatest of spots right now. Anyway, we have a team lowered expectation facing off against assistant new managers. On the left-hand side for lowered expectations, we have Pterosaur on the Orphea, Kid Canuck on the Rexar, Warwolf on the, I was going to say Axeman. It is the Zul'jin, Dingo on May, and Dev Zero on the Stukov. Me on the right hand side, we have Side Piece on the Tychus, Unicycle Yay on Garrosh, Ice Queen on the Chromie, Nullius is on the Dahaka, and Grim rounds it out with Anduin. So we have one comp that can actually snowball quite early. I know there's a May, but literally, if a Garrosh can get many throws like that, we can see Dingo actually gets very low there. However, Dahaka, and actually it is Side Piece getting relatively low. Pool comes out and barely 50 health. One more auto attack from Zul'jin, and that was a very dead Tychus. But let's open up talents out of it. Kind of main scuffle was over. We see Ice Queen getting relatively low. Actually, Ice is thrown onto the Ice Queen, but she will not really get affected by that too much. Unicycle, yeah, think about throwing people, does not. Anyway, in terms of talents, we do actually see the Rexar easy prey at level 1. It's what I expected. Just because it does help with Shrine more, it does help clearing more, and actually it makes him a very good camper. It's not my go-to talent, but it is still a pretty good one if you can use it effectively. Of that, in terms of stacking, we have, I don't know what this is called, Growing Nightmare Orphea. So if she gets 3 hits with the 1W, that's going to be a lot of damage. Meanwhile, we can see there is You Want Axe baseline for Zul'jin with Recklessness, hopefully speeding it up enough for him where he's not going to be too much of a hindrance or anything like that. Right, so then we see Chromie has gone Sans. Yeah, fair enough. It's just a good talent. And then rounded out with Tissue Regeneration Dahaka. Well, you don't see this as, I did say you don't see this as much. You usually see Enhanced Agility. But I've been seeing it more and more. Tissue Regeneration just does keep Dahaka alive for so much. And if you don't need to double soak, and if you're just really kind of dealing someone, it does pretty well. Speaking of which, Nullius is taking a lot of damage. He hits some Rexar, and that is Burrow coming out. But that's not going to do much. It just stalls the inevitable, and Kid Canuck finds the kill. Right. We see throw coming out for Garrosh. Unfortunately, hits just an Impaler. The Impaler goes down, sure, but that's only really part of a camp down, not even a hero. Unfortunate, but sometimes it is just how Garrosh works. As for those who don't know, you have to be Garrosh throws the closest targetable character to him. Pterosaur being that in this case does get hit front stone. And that is them getting their dread hit. They manage to complete their quest. Unfortunately, they go down to the process. So, well, yeah, hell yeah. Level 1 complete from the Orphea. It's not really the best of timings, just because objective is up. Sure, she respawns by them, but that is a little bit of experience gained that now we see assistant new managers are emboldened by this. Throw Warwolf in, but it'll be Warwolf done. Grim pulls Unicycle Yay out of danger. I am going to actually get a thing going, because that is now a May going down. That is a good few kills for assistant new manager. Nicely done. I need to sneeze, sorry, give me a moment. Sorry, I was also starting prediction while I sneezed, so a little bit distracted there. But if you are a betting person, or at least have 10 points to waste either way, just put in a prediction. Doesn't matter too much, but it would make me a little bit happy. But let's have a look. As Nullius is alone so far, the rest of the team of assistant new manager are rotating back up. And Nullius, you are in an interesting spot. Grim finds a stun directly on top of him, gets hit with it. Nullius did go that knockback at level 4 of the burrow charge, and we can see Zymestalk coming up from Chromie. Not quite hitting them with the sand follow-up, a little bit late on that, but it does happen. Unicycle Yay wanting a throw, does throw Dingo, doesn't quite give him where expected by the looks of it. Pushes unstop, and that is Dingo barely holding on. Misha, however, getting a decent amount of stuns out. Nullius taking damage. Ice Queen getting low, doesn't quite go down. And that is yet another slow onto Nullius. And then we see 11-7s are through first to the side of assistant noob managers. Which, that's fair. I don't actually know where each of these teams' strengths lies. I don't know who's better early game. I don't know who's better mid-late game, late game. I don't know what style of fights or compositions these teams prefer. Wolf, however, I can tell you, is very dead to that combo. Nice pull by Grim. Unicycle Yay may have gone down if they'd stayed a little bit longer. They turn around to get a stun off, to get W off. However, it didn't quite work out. We did see W went off onto the Misha, so they at least got that. They're looking for a throw now. May throwing right towards, and actually Dev Zero is throwing in. And that is a little bit of an extension from the healer there, so what may have been going all right at first, then turned very wrong. Kid Canuck hitting a double stun with that Misha. Misha actually taking a lot of a force, a lot of a damage there. And I wonder if lowered expectations will be able to poke this objective down from afar. Maybe not afar for Kid Canuck, but that is just sometimes how it crumbles. You can't do that if there's a Garrosh there. And actually, Orphea manages to steal the objective from afar with one of those dreads. Which, considering how that fight was going for lowered expectations, is a pretty good outcome, as I didn't actually expect them to get the Punisher after that. We see Jump comes out from Punisher, getting a decent amount of damage on his Unicycle Yay. Unicycle Yay maybe going Knave, it's not what I like. But they do have armor. They don't have an Anduin, but they do at least have armor, and they'll be able to burn that down relatively quickly, as there is no lowered expectation team to help burn down those towers. And sorry if you hear me sniffling every now and again. It is currently spring for me, and I do get hay fever, and yes, it is a problem sometimes, and today it feels like a bit more so. I would like to get an aggressive camp take here from the, or at least taking mid camp for lowered expectations. You've already given away quite a bit. You're almost down, you are down essentially a whole level. You may as well get aggressive and keep going while you're at it. Meanwhile, we can see that top right camp is taken by the side of Assistant New Manager. Assistant New Manager getting both of those top camps. But at least lowered expectations are doing their bit to even it out bottom. Garrosh doesn't quite get the throw off there, which is unfortunate for him, because a Garrosh throw into a taunt, into a stun could have been deadly. So, because we do see Garrosh went Warlord's challenge. Is it challenge? Yes. Well, Dahaka went Isolate. That is a Commandeer Odin Tychus, Slowing Sands Chromie, and Light Bomb Anduin. So, can be a pretty dangerous combination they have here, if they hit their shots. So I would like to see kind of Nullius with a Light Bomb on them, with Unicycle Yay just yeeting them on in. We see Unicycle Yay is unstopped there. Dingo, however, will not be afforded the same nicety. But 20's head come through, but that is May down first. A lot of damage coming out from Orphea. And Garrosh will go down because of her isolation missed by Nullius. And the silence going to send them home. Right, in terms of heroics for the side of lowered expectations, we have Ice Wall on May. Stukov went massive shove. Unleash Your Boars Rexar. Eternal Feast? Yep, Eternal Feast on the Orphea and Taz Dingo on the Zul'jin. Let me check a few things. Right. Warwolf is going to be starting the siege camp of assistant new managers. Actually, they're getting aggressive for once. I do like this turnaround, but if Garrosh eventually steps in here, and someone just goes over... Oh, never mind. So someone goes over one of those walls, it's a problem. Dingo, however, found their own problem. Just use Ice Block, does need to back out. That slowing stance does so much. Nice, unstopped by Dingo, but can't quite follow up on it as he's just too low at that point. But we see Garrosh goes down to Orphea up top. This Orphea is now coming online. That Dread doing so much. Nullius not quite finding the tongue, however. And that is a Orphea who gets to live slightly longer than... Not Orphea, that is a Zul'jin who gets to live maybe where if that tongue hit, they do not. But now I'm starting to see what's happening here. As Garrosh comps are known for being early game kind of comps. They did get an advantage, but now it's kind of been nullified a little bit as lowered expectations are caught up. They got the first objective, they're now pushing down wall, and I wonder if they can get the second as well. More stacks I'm looking at here because I just see how many quests are actually picked up. We see in the Rhythm Tigers, we also see Inner Light on the Anduin, neither quite completed. A good thing to note, Chromie and Tahaka nearly finished their quest. Speaking of finishing their quest, Orphea did again finish at Growing Nightmare at level 1. They're getting quite far on there for their level 7, 24 stacks of a Mind Devourer. And we can see now the bear does find the Garrosh. Nice triple stun by Misha, but doesn't quite have a follow-up for it. We do also see, I was meant to say, Hunter-Gatherer Rexar. We do see also that Arcanite Axes on the Zul'jin. Speaking about Zul'jin, they are absolutely laying into Nullius with the rest of the team. Unicycle Yay just froze Misha. Misha, however, will be the thing to go down here. But a Misha traded out for a Tahaka is a good trade, especially if you're the side of lowered expectations who all they lost is a bear for a Space Yoshi. Which, fair enough, that's a pretty good pick. They're going to quickly take bot camp here. I don't know how I feel about this. I almost say you'd probably just want to rather push. But hey, it is up to the team. They are the ones playing, and who am I to judge? I don't like playing on Infernal Shrines anyway. Well, I don't dislike playing on Infernal Shrines. Just there are maps that I prefer to play on that aren't Infernal Shrines. Right? What is it? Stukov's W. No, he's silence, but good. Nice net by Zul'jin. Trapping side piece is just a little moment, but they are able to get out. Then we see nice Icefall by Dingo. Does drop W underneath Ice Queen and Grim. They're taking a lot of damage. Ice Queen has to pop the timeout. Grim actually getting relatively low. The Punisher doing its best to finish him. Stukov got a bit too aggressive to see if they get the kill on him, but we see Taunt comes out onto Devo. And because, or Dev Zero, and because Dev Zero did get aggressive to see if they can get the kill on Ice Queen gets to live, but instead, that is the Stukov are lowered expectations going down, which, a little bit of throw by them, but not the end of the world. You do at least still have 4 members up, and Tahaka, and, well, actually all 4 of his Kid Canuck is sieging. Is that a burning Misha? Wildfire Bear, yeah it is, man. It's not a talent you see very often. Actually, it's probably the least picked talent on that tier, I'd hazard a guess, which I could find out in a few moments. And we do see this mid-siege camp is picked up by the side of assistant new managers, so they're finally getting their own camp instead of being invaded once again by the side of lowered expectations. Speaking of lowered expectations, they're looking to hard shove top, which, yeah, you may as well. You have the people, you know where the enemy is. You've got a few seconds. Push. But no, it looks like they are choosing to get out now, which good timing as we see Unicycle Yay and Co. finally here. Does actually get the throw onto Rexar, but nice Ice Wall by May. We do see our silence coming out underneath. We see a lot of damage as that is 1 kill, 2 kill, 3 kill, red kill, blue kill. As 4 kills happen there, 1 onto the Rexar, but 3 went to the side of lowest expectations. They got Anduin, they got the Tahaka, and they got the Tychus. And that means they'll have a pretty good run of a map now, as that is definitely something that you can just kind of run away with. Ice Queen does drop an Ice Trap, does know where the enemy is, but doesn't quite want to step in, which, fair enough. Have you seen what lowered expectations been doing to people? They've just been killing it in this later part of the game. But in saying that, by no means is assistant Newb manager out of this. They still have a Garrosh, and if they can get 1 or 2 good picks, they can take this. We see Wolf and Dev Zero has stepped in. Wolf taking a little bit of damage, a little bit scared, but that's alright. As you do see, they're getting what damage they can. Those auto attacks getting faster and faster. Others taking the damage for them. Invo Zul'jin has a little. Look, you have Taz Dingo up. You could have popped it if you're gonna go down. No, don't listen to what I say about Zul'jin. I am absolutely aggressive on Zul'jin to the point where I will die on like many occasions. But we can now see this is a pretty good pickup of the timing of the Bruiser Camp there. However, if Siege Camp gets picked up by the side assistant Newb manager before this objective comes up, that's actually very good timing of them, because that is a little bit where they're going to need to be picked. Where there is going to be that downtime where, well, Lloyd Expectations want to be doing objective top. And now there is going to be this Siege Camp pushing bottom, which need a little bit of help, at least to start off with, just because of this wave. Actually, no, freezing that wave is alright, because of what we see Nullius is able to push things up. They have Burrow Charge to get up. They have Brush Stalker to get up if need be, but they don't need it quite yet. As we can see, a fight is about to break out. Also, Wildfire Boar, actually the lowest pick rate on that talent tier at level 13 for Rexar. Nice throw onto Dev Zero. Dev Zero stuck between a rock and a hard place, getting relatively low. Kroby trying the best to finish here off. We can see they go down. Ice Queen does get the kill there. Dingo actually relatively low now. We do see Ice Queen thrown on top of him. Does get the damage out. Meanwhile, we can see Lightbomb going out top. That's 2 kills now over the side of assistant Newb manager. Grim having to back out, getting relatively low. Nice stun by Misha. Actually, Unicycle lay. Yay, barely holding on. Double pull coming out onto both Ice Queen and Side Piece. Just because Garrosh went down. We hear Taz Dingo popped. And that is, in all honesty, that's good for assistant Newb manager. They did get the majority. They did get more kills than lowered expectations here. 2 kills and 1 kill. In saying that, Nullius is now dead. So that's now a 2-2. Not amazing, but not terrible. Alright. This objective does look to be fairly in favor of assistant Newb manager now. The thing to note here is Chromie has picked up her Storm talent and has gone those piercing sands, which with fast forward is a lot of damage that can come out pretty quick. Just because Chromie can absolutely shotgun those Qs, those sands, which, I don't know, is shotgunning also a drinking thing in America? It's definitely a thing here. But I don't really know really much about American drinking culture. That's not my knowledge. Sorry, going on a little side tangent here. It is definitely a thing here. But we can see that it is a Frozen Punisher. Frozen Punisher is known for being very good. And suddenly a Fort Disabled is a lot of damage you can pump in without being too concerned. We see the isolation coming out from Nullius. Nullius, however, didn't quite find purchase of it. You see the Punisher's Frozen Punisher's gone for a decent straight downwards. And we can see the side of Load Expectations burning down a building. They're not quite there yet. And actually the Punisher goes down before they can get the building down. Just because it got so distracted over here by the core. But there'll be that objective done. That was the third objective of the game. And Lowered Expectations just about have a win condition open. While under Newb management have a lot more work to do. Right. Sorry about that, just getting a quick drink of water. Both teams playing relatively safe at this point because 20s are now through for the side of Lowered Expectations. We can see that they have gone Shatter at level 20 by the May. I cannot remember what's it called. Bio Explosion switch on the Stukov. Kill Command Rexar. Oh my gosh. Monster Within on the Orthea. Okay, not often you see that. And to round it out, we do have Amani Resilience on the Zul'jin. But nice stun by Misha, speaking of, I don't know, characters in the game. Dingo does block Ice Block temporarily as the damage are getting out. But we can see that it is a throw onto Dingo. Dingo trying to be survive does actually get out with only the Ice Wall going onto Unicycle. Yay, and actually Misha is taken out by Zul'jin at the end. And Zul'jin with that axe managed to, well, actually not with that axe, but during that fight managed to finish off there level, well, their baseline, I was going to say level 1, but no, it's more like a level 0. We do see that they did manage to finish it. Meanwhile, we can see that Nullius all that time was pushing down top, and that Bruiser Camp got their first fort of the game, which does at least help open up bottom to them. They can go bottom to end if need be. However, it looks like both teams may just be waiting for that objective phase to come up. And we do actually see the Storm Talents are up for Assistant New Management. We can see Contagion on Dahaka. We can see Big Red Button Tychus. We can see also Titanic Mike Garrosh, Piercing Says Chromie at level 18, and Censure of the Anduin, which, if you're going Piercing Light, I love Censure. I think it's a really good talent with Piercing Light being the caveat. Just because, yeah, a double stun with a root on the end also is showing at this Hourglass. But it does appear that the side of lowered expectations kind of accepted that that fort was going down, but they may be able to catch someone out if they're fast enough. Grim, smart enough to not show first. Kid Canuck taking his time, does need to run Misha at, as I say, needs to run Misha at Garrosh, but nice Ice Wall by May. However, slowing stands a little bit too much to help for Rexar out, and that'll be them going down. Side piece taking out a decent amount of damage in process, but no, all that was lost there was a Rexar. Just, Assistant New Manager is playing this Vision game very well compared to lowered expectations, and you can see it's got net of him quite a few kills. But with Garrosh compositions, it really is a Vision game. We can see Dingo is thrown in, does slide out, not going to go down. Wolf doing what damage they can with those Arcanite axes, and actually getting stacked more and more. Right, Isolation came out, actually hit all 3 members. Nice double throw by Garrosh. That is Dingo and Dev Zero stuck in the slowing sands, hit by a root. Dingo gets out, but Dev Zero did not. No! Dingo does not get to get out. Nice snipe by the Chromie, hitting that May. It's just right by the gate. Pterosaur, however, now the next one on the chopping block. There'll be Pterosaur going down. And now what was looking bad for Assistant New Manager now looks like they may be able to close out the game in these later stages. They are starting to light it up, which I love to see. But right. Objective is slowly going over the side of Assistant New Management. They don't have the fastest clear in the world. And by the time it's down, no one else is going to quite be up, but Stukov would be pretty close to being back. We can see that actually Zul'jin is pushing during this, trying to get what damage they can. They get double catters in, but Nullius is at least there to stop those catters from pushing too much. Yep, and that is now the Arcane Punisher pushing in. They did manage to get objective, as I was saying. But almost all the members are up, and actually Orphea is up now. So a lot of expectations back at full force. Will the side of Assistant New Management be able to finish it out? Only 3 of the 5 members are here. If the side of lowered expectations realize this could be any of them dead, but nope. A little bit too long. Nullius and Side Piece are now here, and that is not going to be any major fight that breaks out. Ice Queen, a little bit delayed compared to the rest, but she was out of vision. It's hard to tell. Oh god, sorry. She's out of vision. It's hard to tell if anyone's lagging if you can't see them. Right, it does look like that lowered expectations are wanting the run of this map, and they are going to be able to do so for the moment. I'm just stroking my beard and like nodding like, yes, do the camps. Nullius is split once again. They don't have the Apex. They do not have Apex Predator. They don't have those burrows that come up every like 10 seconds, it feels like sometimes. But they do at least have a lot of move speed when they're in and around bushes. But right. They are going to go up to their bottom camp. And it very much feels like they're like, yeah, we can run the map currently. The other team feels scared. And yeah, it does feel a bit like lowered expectations are scared. They are playing together. They're playing safe. You're just getting what siege they can. But like the thing is, there is still a structure advantage over to the side of lowered expectations. And they know that. And you can see them pushing where they can. Just, they need to not get caught out awkwardly again. Nice stun by Misha. We can see that Dahaka is shoved into Narnia. And while they weren't able to get the fort, they were at least able to spook the side of Assistant Noob Manager a little bit. Wait. Okay, yep, we do have Endormal Anomaly from the Chromie. As we can see, there are multiple hourglasses out, which I do like this for vision. I use this a lot for vision, especially in areas where I'm like, I'm probably gonna die here. So you just like chuck a glass in a bush and you're like, she'll be right, mate. Unicycle, yay, moving up. They do have vision. May finds him, actually. Does drop the Q on it. W next. Nice double stun. A good follow-up by the Misha. And we do see that is Boars coming out. Nice pull by Grim. Saving Nullius there, actually. As there was that kill command used as well. So Nullius gets to live. And all the while, there was quite a few heroics used by Lowered Expectations. So if objectives called to these next about 5 seconds or so, this could potentially... Nice. I say, this could potentially be a problem for this side of Lowered Expectations, but I believe in them. We may see where they're yet to go. Oh, cool. I love this bug. Oh, no. I was too busy looking elsewhere, and Dahaka goes down. Oh, that is unfortunate timing, to say the least, for the side of Assistant Noob Manager. So they're now going to need... Yawn. They're now going to need to get aggressive, but nice shove by Stukov. I kind of wish he went I kind of wish he went push comes to shove, because if we just see Garrosh getting pushed out every 5 seconds, that is kind of funny. That is actually really funny to me, but I definitely know Unicycle would get a little bit frustrated. But we do see stun coming out from Misha. Misha was sitting in the bush. Unstopped used by Garrosh. It doesn't stop an ice wall, but it will at least stop the follow-up damage from it. No, it doesn't follow up the damage at least, but it does stop the CC. As we see Garrosh goes down, we see Tychus goes down, Anduin goes down. And while, yes, the side of Assistant Noob Manager can just push, and I actually recommend a lot of them do so, we do just see they are going to do objective, while Ice Queen and Nullius are going to be left to defend, well, the oncoming Mortar Punisher, as well as the full 5-man force of Lowered Expectations. Run in, run in, run. I do love watching just like Misha go. Like that little running animation is so good to me. We can see Kid Kadak is clearing wave. We can hear the line bus yawning, as he is just apparently tired because he is at the end of a workday. We can see actually there's a lot of damage coming out to Nullius, and Nullius dies just like that. And actually that looks like to be a core call from the side of Lowered Expectations. They know Assistant Noob Manager's respawning. Nice Icefall to close out the game by Dingo. And GG's called by both sides. Well played, teams. Right. So, what are we going to get? Alright, I should probably tick that. Choose outcome prediction. I'm going to choose it anyway, just to get like in the practice of it. Lowered Expectations won that. And we will also tick the box here that changes the scoreline. Right. So, Orpheus actually did the most siege and hero damage for the side of Lowered Expectations. Similarly, Chromie had the most siege and hero damage for the side of Assistant Noob Management. And actually 9-0. Damn, that's good for an NGS match. That we do see, in terms of Soak, Orpheus had the most for one side. Rex actually being out. But we see Dahaka did have the most for the side of Assistant Noob Manager. I nearly said Absolute Noob Manager, like an absolute fool. And then healing, pretty even between Stukov and Anduin. Could have been maybe a bit more, but Stukov does like these objective fights, while Anduin does have a better single target kind of burst healing as needed. So yeah, that was Lowered Expectations second map 1. If anyone's interested in talents, here they are. Anything that stands out to me in particular? No. This makes sense. This makes it. Yeah. Sorry. Wildfire Bear definitely does. It's probably not my go-to. I don't know how often I'd even pick this in normal matches, but Kid Kinnock made it work for them. So hey, who am I to bag it? I may just try it at some point if I ever find myself in a situation where I am running Rexar on Infernal Shrines, which not often, but definitely not a 0% chance considering quick match rotations do exist and you do end up in a random map sometimes. Otherwise, yeah, everything kind of makes sense. I do like Ensnare picked up. I do always think it's a fun one. Nice on the double pulls. And fast forward, I haven't really seen it much normally playing the game, but the more I cast Chromies in competitive, the more I do see fast forward picked up. So I was trying it out myself last night, and while I do like it, I do think I'd still just prefer 40% spell power, 30% spell power bonus. But hey, Ice Queen was making it work out for them, as you can see. This is how they did. So props to them. Wow, I really just changed the. I've got to be really careful not to just like play an ARAM on accident. So let me just throw it onto map view. And now I can confidently open up my chat and not accidentally leak DMs. Which I don't think I have any. No, nothing currently. Why do I even bother joining ANZ? There's like no one there. Right. What do we think we're gonna get? Let's have a look. Let's have a few guesses, shall we? We can see what our map BAMs are. We can see what. We can see we've already had one map. Yeah. Lupin just through may have gotten a few more kill secures, but in saying that, the Sowing Sands, which Garrosh threw people into the middle of, still did a decent amount. That Sowing Sands can borderline be a route in some instances, and the slow from it did definitely get decent value. And unfortunately, it's a bit hard to say how the the temporal loop would have gone, as it is a bit harder of a map in that early game, and you do kind of want that pick potential, which 50-50 in all honesty there about how either talent would have gone. Oh, who we think? I think that one team is... Oh, never mind. I was about to Fairycraft, but we have indeed Alterac Pass, which I do like Alterac, but yeah, no cleanse GG. And saying that Silence under them can borderline be a cleanse. Alright. Next map, Alterac. I do like Alterac. It is a fun one. It's probably not my go-to. Yeah, this is my map. I'm not going anywhere else. I am just being here. But it can still be a fun one to say the least, as I'm just remembering on my controller as there is Alterac, and it looks like it was chosen by lowered expectations. Which, if you're not confident of this map, it can be quite hard to go into. A good moment as someone is pinging me. Right. There we go. Things are now sorted for me. I'm just going to say caster ready. I'm typing in a place I don't even know. I just started typing. I heard things happening. I'm like, well. Where you guys are. And I wonder if we're going to get the same bans as last time. Because I imagine we see another Blaze ban. We may see a Garrosh ban, because that Garrosh did definitely do work. Never mind, we're not going immediately. Someone said they're ready, then wait a minute, actually, someone's AFK just for a few moments. Which, understandable. And I haven't even heard from the other team, so I guess everyone's sitting there thinking, plotting what happens next. Right, when did both these teams last play? Alterac. Okay, there's one. Ooh. I wonder if we see Rexar again. I guess that must be... Kid Canuck must really like Rexar, because I think I see Rexar as one of their most played heroes. Which, fair enough. Rexar is a fun one, and if you could play him, he's pretty strong. Wait, Okay, both teams have Civi ready. Yes, excellent. Oh. Now we're actually starting with a little bit of a hiccup there in the middle, because apparently someone wanted ice cream. And unfortunately, you can't quite stop a match for that, At least I'll get a bit annoyed sitting here like going, are you serious right now? I got home from work from this. I do not want to be held up for ice cream. But as you hear, we do have Ultrac Pass, so I'm going to throw it on over to the draft view and we'll see how this goes, shall we? Also, if you can hear thudding outside, I'm sorry there is construction happening next door to me, which I have tried to block out as much as I can, but isn't exactly easy to get rid of all the construction noises. So apologies if you do hear the occasional thudding or some loud kind of power tools being used or anything like that. But first ban, what are we going to see? Are we going to see Mei banned out? Mei is one of their more chosen tanks. Maybe Joanna. Nope, Vala once again. They really do not want lowered expectations to get that Vala. And now that I look at it, yeah, I can see why you do not want to lower expectations to give that Vala a 71% win rate. Garrosh banned out. Yep, kind of expected there, considering how well he went last time. But I don't know if Garrosh is as good a pick this map. There is a lot of vision. This map is really easy to have vision. There's not a lot of bushes. There's not a lot of map geometry to hide around. You can hide around a little bit on the aggressive kind of edges, but there's not really a lot that you can get away with. And actually we see Stukov banned out this time. So, well, the first map definitely felt like, we should probably ban this, we should probably ban this. This one definitely feels a bit more, okay, how did that last map go? What was our problems? Let's get rid of that. Ignoring Vivala. Vivala, that can go away. Into the toy box, that one, it is not being used today. Blaze? Nope, Joanna. Are we going to see a first pick Blaze? I would like to see Blaze picked up here. Blaze is a really good pick here, in my opinion. Like, run yourself a hyper carry, do offlane tank, some strong healer. And not like traditional I can double soak offlaners like damage offlaners. But no, we see Zul'jin is picked first. Which, yeah, I guess it did well for lowered expectations. May as well choose it if you're assistant Newb manager and actually deny that Zul'jin pick, which I can see has only been played once before by the side of LE, so may not be the most picked. Zagara would be fun here. Zagara would be really fun on this map. But what do we see instead? We see Mei picked up and we see Malfurion. Oh, I don't think we see Malfurion all that often. I definitely haven't casted him that often this season. Right, what next? Nullius. Maybe we see Tank picked up. Or we're going to get a Tank choke, one of the two. I think Blaze. Chromie, Brightwing. No. I do like the picks though. Chromie, however, I feel... Yeah, Chromie does pretty well on this map. A lot of stall. You can poke the objective from quite far. If you get fast forward, it's a lot of stall. And Brightwing, Grim... Yeah, just good all-round healer. Point-and-click CC. Large burst stun. Bit lacking in terms of those smaller heals up until 10. But can still do very well if you can hit your Qs properly. And there's a Blaze ban. Well, this is a full tank choke coming out from lowered expectations. And by the looks of it, what else? What other tanks do they play? We can see... Oh, Rexar banned. Yep, fair enough. Kid Canuck, what do you have in your back pocket? So what tanks are left that they play? Diablo... Stitches? Stitches isn't bad if there's no Anduin on the field. Tyrael. But we see Kid Canuck goes Sonya. Woo! Okay, I do like it. And Mephisto picked up by Warwolf. I have no clue what the last pick is going to be by the side of lowered expectations. That is all in the air for me. But what is it going to be for the side of assistant Newb managers? 1 and 2, you still need your offlane. You still need your tank. Nazebo? Nazebo Muradin? I wouldn't mind that. Leoric? Also another good one. Leoric, and I forgot about Nubarak. But I actually think this is Assistant Noob Manager's first time playing a Nubarak this season. It is! No wonder why I couldn't figure that out. Me on the other side, we do need one last hero to finish it out. We could get another offlane. We may also see something... Alarak was banned last time, but no, we see Tychus is picked up instead, which... And Nubarak, pretty susceptible to miniguns. Not quite what you want to see if you're the bug yourself. But it's not going to be easy for either team in particular. Both teams can just kind of kill someone. And I don't know if the side of... I imagine we're going to see Leap Sonya. Leap Sonya is going to be kind of the main engage for the side of lowered expectations. But we'll have to see how that goes as we get the countdown. I'm going to run the pre-roll and I'll see you guys in the game.
Four-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead.
Right, and welcome back to the series. On the side of Assistant New Manager, we have Ice Queen on Chromie, Nullius on the Leoric, side piece on the Axeman, Zuljin, Unicycle Yay on the Nubarak, and Grim on Brightwing. On the left-hand side, we have Pterosaur on the Malfurion. Man, I really cannot forget what the tree man was called. Dingo is on the May. Dev Zero on the Tychus. Warwolf on that very aggressive Mephisto. And it's rounded out with Kid Kanik on the Sonya. Which I'll be interested to see how they go without that Rexar pick. Because even that Rexar seemed to had a few iffy moments. But all in all, just still did pretty well. Nice sleep. Yep. I was going to say, nice sleep by the Malfurion as we do see that Emerald Dreams at level 1. Otherwise, other than that, we do have in terms of stacking, we have that Unyielding Power on Mephisto Skull Missile build. I do like it. We do also see baseline, you want Axe with Recklessness on Zuljin. And Chromie has once again gone, the first time. You know, we can see just in general, the team of Assistant Noob Manager is kind of moseying on up to the side of Load Expectations. Load Expectations just shows them back out immediately, and we see that they are fine in the end. And Malfurion has been left alone mid. I do like that Assistant Noob Manager is going straight to this camp. It is good to get this camp out early. But meanwhile, no one has started a null camp for the side of lowered expectations. Tychus, however, is making their way there now. Just it'll be a bit later than the side of Assistant Noob Manager gets theirs. Despite Chromie and Brightwing, maybe not the best for taking camp, but they do get there in the end. No one is soaking top for lowered expectations, which surprising. They chose this map. I thought they'd be a little bit tighter on their execution of soaking, camping, etc. See, Devo has left Kid Kanik to take camp. See, Nullius is trying to get what damage they can onto the fort. Actually, half the tower, half the gate. Pretty impressive. Camp now picked up for Sonya. Middle, once again being left alone. It feels like, despite lowered expectations choosing the map, Assistant Noob Manager are playing the map much better. Well, you don't need to say much better because that's a kind of a bad sense, but they are playing it better. It's just a straight, that's how I feel currently. But in saying that, the early game for map number 1 of Infernal Shrines, that definitely felt like it was in favor of Assistant Noob Manager. But you can see lowered expectation came back and actually got the win on that map in the end, so I guess we'll have to wait and see where this map goes as we get into that mid and late game when those heroics start turning on and things start becoming alive. Chromie has to clear out mid. Ice Queen trying their best, but Chromie isn't exactly known for their camp clear potential. They can at least wave clear pretty well with that W of theirs. Right, Chromie's build kind of looks like they're going to go slowing sands again at level 8. just because they get their heroic a little bit early. But we also see that Tychus actually picked up Master Assassin, as they do have their level 4 quest just sitting there, vibing, having a good old time. And Newb, one of those heroes who can actually get objective done by themselves, and you do see they have picked it up. Unicycle, yay, forced out by 4 man of lowered expectations. Both teams getting near 7s, however, with how Assistant Newb Manager's been playing the map, they are actually closer. And yeah, we can see 7s are online now. They can push in. Right wing is getting their soak. We see Leroy has been doing well soak bottom, which we can even open up this, and you can see, yeah, in terms of minion soak, there's almost a full K difference between lowered expectation and Assistant Newb Manager. Like, yeah, sure, they're getting the damage out, but they need to tighten up their experience gain a little, their soaking a little. God, Wolf's actually getting what damage they can out. They're doing a decent amount. Nice Q from Warwolf there. Let's see, they currently have the most damage in the game by quite a bit. Warwolf going over flank. We see Dingo getting a nice double stun onto side piece and Unicycle. Yeah, Unicycle actually getting relatively low. Side piece doing this, but it's taken out by Skull Missile and Mephisto. We see that everyone's trying their best to sort out the objective. Pterosaur is going to hold on to it, and that is the objective barely being held on to. Nullius gets hit with a slow from Dingo. Does get FW. Also, Mephisto does take out Newb in the side. But no, what needs to happen now is lowered expectations. You don't quite want to give this camp over. Get it now before it is a bit too late. Right, Nullius once again taking damage from Warwolf. Warwolf is actually doing very well with Mephisto. I haven't seen him all season. And he's like, last week, I swear I've seen him like 2, 3 times, 4 times picked in NGS matches. Which, fair enough, you may as well if you are going to do it. But hey, we do see double stun coming out to Dingo. Kid Kennick actually hit with a decent amount of damage here. Spear going into Nullius. Nullius goes down over Wolf, takes a decent amount of damage for it. And there's objective going over the side of lowered expectations. Good first stuff. Nicely done. Wolf doing what they can. They're a little bit overextended. However, there's nothing really to follow up of them. Unicycle, yeah, definitely not looking as confident on this Newb as the Garrosh in game number 1. Dev Zero just activating minigun, walking at Unicycle, yay, not in a good spot for that. Right, now they're pushing in. And this is all 5 members of lowered expectation. Oh my god, they're moving so fast. Yeah, all 5 members of lowered expectation pushing bottom. And really, only 3 members of Assistant Newb Manager Defense, maybe not best. We see Leap coming from Sonya, doesn't quite find its mark. Neither does Mephisto's Durance, but it does at least still find a kill onto the Newb. And that is now Assistant Newb Manager forced to back out. Sonic Sand's doing a lot to Dingo and Devo. Dingo and Devo sounds like honestly an Australian like kind of buddy comedy, which I would enjoy thoroughly. Oh, I'm just now going to have Dingo and Devo going through my head, because honestly that's a fun one to say. I do love it a lot, and we do see actually a nice route coming out from, I was going to say Malfury and Ice Queen. Actually, no, not quite able to hold it on. May finds a kill. I thought I heard snowball sound, and actually it is the Brightwing going down after that. Thank you to the Commandeer Odin, but we do see Slush Ball has been picked up by Dingo, doing what they can to stop the objectives. Meanwhile, Sonya, Leoric getting double soak in the off lanes. Actually, that is not Tychus. Yeah, but yes, Tychus did find the kill onto the Zul'jin. What I was going to say is Zul'jin goes down. And they're still just sieging this, which, honestly, if you can get a keep at the 8-minute mark, you're in a really good spot. Sure, it's this map, Alterac, and you do need, oh, nice Durance. And actually, Sonya took out Leoric top. Unicycle, yeah, taking a lot of damage. Didn't need to pop the spell armor there. Barely holding on. And actually, Devo nearly goes down, but they got what they want. They can just bog off. They don't need to stay there. It's 9 kills to 0, and that was a very, staggered defense. Those kills from lowered expectation there just kept Assistant Newb Manager constantly staggered. And I'd like to see that assistant new manager go, lowered expectation go for boss, but assistant new manager will need to meet them. But right, let's touch on heroics now that we are here. We do see Ice War May, Leap Sonya, Twilight Dream Malfurion, Commandeer Odin, Tigers, Durance of Hate on the Mephisto. And on the other hand side, we do have Sonic Sans Chromie, as well as, well, that was picked up a level 8. We also see the Entomb Leoric, Taz, Dingo, Zul, Jin, Cocoon, Nubarak. Nullius is actually starting boss. Interesting choice. And Blink Heal Brightwing is the last thing to round it out. Wolf is now aware that the team is there, doing what damage they can. They do manage to dodge Unicycle Yay. And thing to note is, if Warwolf gets cocooned while they're in like that, they won't go back to their shade. They are kind of stuck there. Durance coming out, finding the Unicycle Yay. However, top boss goes over the side of lowered expectations, while assistant new manager gets top boss while lowered expectations get bottom. Good trade. A little bit. I don't know about bottom boss being taken, just because this core has too much armor to really care about the boss. As weird as that is to say. Just because this map, the core does regenerate health, so hey, you may as well get what damage you can with. We see Grim breaks out immediately. Nice 4-man stun by Sonya. However, it does get interrupted by the Newbrak in the end. But Brightwing is the first one to go down. Ice Queen barely holding on. But no, that is an excellent leap into the... From the Ice Wall into the Sowing Sans Chromie into the Root Malfurion. It's just too much... Oh, sorry, the Avalanche on the May, I should have said. But yeah, that was just too much for assistant new manager to handle. And unfortunately for them, it was their healer went down. Nice. Durance of Hate by Warwolf. Does try to get a kill on the Unicycle. Yay, actually finds Zul Jin instead. Devo goes for the snipe and actually just chooses to siege into the top fort, mid fort instead. Okay, you don't have the attack range to do it. Yep, Devo just goes. Actually, maybe not a good idea. Let's just back on out of here. Oh, I just want to make a buddy comedy called Devo and Dingo, or Dingo and Devo. It does sound fun. Oh, my God, my nose. Sorry, again, hay fever just makes things so much harder for me. But yeah, to quote what was picked up on by EZK93 in the chat, interesting we don't see rewind temporal loop here either. Just because of that rewind, Malfurion, yeah, sure, has a cleanse, but they don't have an unstop. We didn't see actually that is, let's say, Warwolf in the Cocoon. They get broken out pretty quick. No follow-up on the Icefall by Dingo. Instead, they just get the wave instead. And Cavalry is slowly making their way up. Mid is getting to mid fort. Top is just making their way to the team now. And it looks like they are wanting to open up for win condition. Because 2 forts down, 1 armor plate left. That's not going to really stop you. But the 2 armor plates definitely will. Right, level 16 through for the side of load expectations. You can see it on map on the screens needed. I'm going to close it in just a few moments. There we go. And we now see Lich Queen steps up a lot compared to the rest of the team. But Kid Kennock is going to go down. But however, it is traded out for your Nubrak. Nullius gets a nice double entomb. However, we do see Grenade coming out from Tigers. They're forced to back off. This objective is still pushing. I imagine we want to see them. We imagine that lowered expectation starts pushing with it again. Instead of just fighting in a small corridor against a Chromie. Which, not a great idea if you're anyone. Alright. There's Commandeer Odin. I don't know if they finish it. They don't have Sonya for a little, but it looks like they are going to at least try. Actually, now I've said it out loud, it looks like they will be able to finish here. As Core goes down. May's found first, but Core goes down second. GG call by both sides, and that is the side of lowered expectations. Taking the series 2-0. Right, here is the Storm logo. Nice. In terms of stats, May and Sonya are the only ones to go down. May right at the end and Sonya pretty much at the end as well. But excellent healing by Malfurion and Brightwing, both pretty close to each other. Damage, Mephisto just absolutely tore it up with the Siege and the hero damage. Experience, Leoric tried their best to keep their team in it. Actually, they were pretty close for the most part, but it did eventually go over to the side of Lord Expectations. Speaking of which, we'll have a look at builds. Anything that stands out to me. Sorry, let me just go into Div D and just check what people are doing. As interesting, we don't see the Beetle, but I do like chitinous plating. I do think it's a pretty good talent to keep you alive. Mephisto build makes sense for Q. Interesting, we see. Oh no, Abhorred Skull makes sense. Tychus, I do like their pickup of Relentless Soldier, especially into a Nubarak. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have too much to comment on as both of these. Okay, Strange pick up Poison Spear if you're going W. You usually see W at 7 as well if you're going W at 13 and 4. But not the end of the world. I'm getting a message from Dingo. Yes, indeed. I was about to ping them, but they beat me to the punch. I'm going to pop myself into... What's one that people can join again? This. And hopefully we'll have the captain of Lord Expectations in just a few moments. As I'm going to throw it on over. And hey, Dingo, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. So, map number 1. Definitely the scarier of the two maps for you guys. How are you feeling with Garrosh kind of tossing you guys all over the place?
So, I'm never going to hear the end of this. Warwolf, one of our players, insisted repeatedly, ban Garrosh. And I'm like, no, I'm in charge. This is what we're going to do. And he absolutely wrecked our day, the entire blasted map.
Yeah, just watching it on my end, I mean, just see Garrosh hiding in a bush and you guys slowly approaching. I'm like, let's see who gets thrown first. Oh, there goes Dingo. Oh my god, Dingo lost a lot of health and someone else gets thrown and loses all their health. And yeah, it just seemed like a menace to deal with. So how did you guys adjust to deal with that Garrosh?
So one of the things that we do, I guess, very poorly is play back and passive. And it's really hard because I'm aggressive as hell and like to attack. But we decided, you know what? Let's pull back, run as 5, and wait, because that's what Garrosh does. Garrosh is an ambush predator, and we just hopefully could see opportunities. We had the structure advantage from getting objectives and just some good push, and we just we waited for opportunities, and several times it came up where we were as 5 and they were not, and we got a couple of good picks, and eventually I think the map was going in our favor early, and then very much not in the mid game, and then eventually we got the kind of the inertia in our favor again, and then allowed us to win.
Yeah, very fortunate actually. I think the first objective was one you guys nearly lost because you all died, but your Orphea was just able to poke it out and take it at the end.
Yeah, there was a few suicide runs to ensure that, and ultimately what that meant was that the first objective was just a wash. It did almost nothing, and we didn't lose. We did because we had people down and so on and so forth.
That second map, however, that was quite a bit more in your favor than the first one.
Yeah. We like Alterac Pass, but we're very uneven on it. And Dex or Pterosaur just called out in chat as we finished it. I think that might be the best we've ever played on that map in terms of just being constant in our comms, always on board. Like we didn't have to wrangle anybody in. We just did the thing, and on top of that, the thing that we wanted to do turned out to be the right choice. Specifically, when we just pushed on that bottom wave with the first objective, and we were able to take out that keep, which is just great. It's really, really phenomenal. And then later on, we took out bottom boss, and it turned out that the call for bottom boss, they were taking top boss. Well, bottom boss was in a lane without a keep. Top boss, there was a keep in a fort. So we just decided to finish bottom boss and then see what happened. And then I believe the team fight after that also went very much in our favor. Yeah.
And you were able to close it out with that second objective. How was Kid Caduck feeling not able to play their Rexar? Because I noticed that they like playing Rexar a lot when I was doing my very bare minimum scouting.
Yeah, Rexar, I wouldn't say it's necessarily his favorite, but it's among his favorites. Misha's a very good girl. and we're very fond of Misha.
Yeah.
And so he's quite happy there. But Sonya is also a strong play for him. We suspected that Nullius would go Leoric. It's a strong Leoric map, and it's also taking the Sonya from him was good. So it worked out well. They tried to be tricksy with us and take the Zul'jin from us, but we pivoted appropriately.
Yeah, and it definitely did work out for you guys. And the tank choke, that was really what seemed to be killer, because I don't think Unicycle Yay has actually chosen Nubrak this season. You really force them onto something that we haven't seen as often.
Oh, okay. Well, we were definitely. It was less a direct tank choke and more. I know Nullius in a life before was a tank main, and so Blaze is quite a potent offlaner. I don't know actually if he plays Blaze extremely well. I just assume he can, and so I didn't want a very skilled tank coming out of the blue with tank timing and as an offlaner and ruining our day. CC is a deadly combination. And we lost actually to Unicycle Yay's Muradin last time, and we were just on the cusp. We almost banned the Muradin instead of the Blaze. I don't know which would have been more effective, but ultimately, if you don't die unpunished, it was the right choice.
Yeah, and it obviously was right choice in day, because you did take out the Series 2-0. Is there any kind of takeaway message you want to leave, or any kind of thanks yous or anything like that?
Well, first of all, thank you for casting. That's this is a great joy to be able to get a cast in NGS, and this is actually the first interview I've been able to do, so this makes me very happy. Definitely call out to assistant Newb manager. We tried to get some scrims earlier in the season, and they're fantastic people, and I would have loved to get it organized, but we're terribly disorganized, and we could never actually make it happen, but that's totally on us. And then just shout out to the team. Everyone who was kind of in the match played extremely well. And then we have a very supportive group behind the scenes that weren't necessarily in the game tonight, but they're in our corner. So yeah, that's pretty much what I think take away.
Right on. Well, thank you for your time and coming in here. You beat me to the punch of asking for an interview. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening.
Well, thank you very much. I may have been a little excited, so that's, that can account for the premature request there.
Fair enough if you haven't done too many of these, but right, have a good one.
You too. Thank you kindly. See you around.
Right, so that is going to be it for me this evening. As we saw, Lowered Expectations did beat Assistant New Manager 2-0 with taking both Infernal Shrines in a relatively competitive fashion, and then Lowered Expectations did seem just a little bit cleaner on Assistant New Manager, but do still have a few things probably to take away from that map. But I guess they can hear my comments early on and they'll go, okay, that's fair enough from him. So, that is me, the Line Buzz. I wish everyone a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. And I will see you all, in the Nexus, if you can actually peel me away from Overwatch 2, which I've been doing a little bit too much recently. But that will be it for me. Have a good night. When I remember how to push my buttons, there we go.